True crime, horror, reality that chills. Welcome to the Haunting Files. In 1977, inside the walls of California Man's Colony Prison, two strangers crossed paths. One was intelligent, calculated, and cold. The other violent, impulsive, and filled with rage. Lawrence Bittaker and Roy Norris. This meeting would become the beginning of one of the most horrifying killing sprees in American history. They would later be called the ToolBox Killer. Lawrence Bittaker was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1940. Abandoned by his birth parents, he was adopted but never truly bonded with his new family. Despite a reported IQ of 138, Bittaker was in and out of civilian detention center before turning 18. His crimes ranged from shoplifting to car theft and assault. Roy Norris, born in 1948, had a quality dark star. Raised in violent household, he experienced physical and emotional abuse from a young age. By his early 20s, Norris had already been arrested multiple times for and sexual assault. Two men, damaged and dangerous, who found each other in prison. They connected over their shared hatred and depravity. In prison, they formed a disturbing fact. Once they were released, they would abduct teenage girls, torture them, kill them, and get away with it. Bittaker was released in October 1978. Norris followed in January 1979 by Springs. They had purchased a silver GMC cargo van. They called it Murder Mac. They removed the rear seats and installed a bed, a cooler, and a toolbox filled with their chosen weapons: pliers, hammers, screwdrivers, and ice picks. They spent weeks crushing beaches and school parking lots, practicing what they called failed attempts, observing, learning, perfecting. Between June and October 1979, 5 girls would fall prey to the monster in the van. June 24th, 16-year-old Lucinda was walking home from a church meeting. When the van pulled off, she refused the ride. They forced her inside. She was gang-raped and tortured for hours before being strangled with a wire cord, hanger tightened with pliers. 8 July, 18-year-old Andrea Hall. She was hitchhiking along the Pacific Coast Highway. They picked her up, offered her a drink, drugged it. After hours of abuse, they photographed her, posed her, and killed her. September 3rd, Jackie Gilliam, 15 years old, and Lee Lamb, 13 years old. Both girls were sitting at a bus stop. The man lured into the van with and promise of a ride inside. The doors slammed shut. They were held captive for nearly 2 days, beaten, tortured. Screams were recorded, nails were torn, ice picks were used. They were finally killed and their bodies dumped off a mountain road. October 31st, Shirley, 16 years old. Halloween night, she accepted a ride home from Bittaker. This would become the most horrifying case of all them. Inside the van, they recorded her screams on cassette tape. For over an hour, Shirley was tortured in unspeakable ways. Screamed, pleaded, cried. When the tape was played in court, even the jury sobbed. She was strangled with a sledgehammer handle, her jaw broken, face bruised. The tape is so disturbing that FBI profilers still use it during training to understand evil. The killers may have thought they were unstoppable, but pride became their downfall. Norris, the weaker link, bragged to a former cellmate about the murders. The man went straight to the police. Detectives launched an investigation. Norris cracked under pressure, confessed everything. He even led police to a San Gabriel Mountains ravine, where the bodies of several victims were found. Bittaker was arrested on October 20, 1979. Inside his motel room, police found Polaroids of victims, a blood-stained sledgehammer, and the cassette tape. Norris accepted a plea deal in exchange for testifying against Bittaker. He received 45 years to live. Bittaker, on the other hand, was tried for 5 counts of first-degree murder. When the jury heard the tape of Charlie's torture, several broke into tears. A female juror ran out of the courtroom. Even hardened police officers admit they had never heard anything so demonic. In March 1981, Lawrence Bittaker was sentenced to death, but that did not come first. He remained on death row at San Quentin for 38 years, until dying of natural causes in 2019. The ToolBox Killers did not just kill their victims, they enjoyed it, planned it, laughed about it. They used tools meant for repair to destroy lives. To this day, their case is studied by FBI profilers as the darkest example of organized sadistic serial killers. Because monsters did not always hide under beds, sometimes they drive around in plain sight in a silver van with a toolbox. This was the ToolBox Killer. You have been watching The Haunting Files. Subscribe for more real crime stories that will never let you sleep the same again. Thanks for watching.